Going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of the Viall Files. Where are we? We're in the lulls of December. Are we not? Is it December? Fuck, I don't know. I live in LA. It's a real thing, being in warm weather, growing up in cold weather.
Is it? You miss it? I feel like you would be happy you weren't slogging
It's not that I miss
snow.
it, and it's not that I'm not happy. It's that you just literally don't know, like, what month it is.
Yeah.
Or the seasons. Like, so much of my life was predicated on, like, the seasons changing and climate changing, and you would just feel like it's September, and then you feel like it's, you know, November.
Yeah.
You'd feel when March and April would roll around, or you'd feel June and July. Now it's just like, I don't know. You wake up, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, hope everyone's having a great day. Great episode today.
Grocery Store Joe.
Grocery Store Joe. Rochelle has a bit of a, female boner going on this episode. You have a crush on you, Joe? You were an early Joe stan.
I was. I even wrote a tweet about him that made it onto
back in the day
while I was watching.
You were one of the people who fed into the
totally
Joe Twitter anomaly.
Yes, and they showed my tweet at the
Tell-all.
Yeah. On the screen.
What was the tweet?
It was just like some meme, but I made it about Grocery Store Joe. It was pretty funny.
I remember seeing one, and I really chuckled, is that something about, it was referring to Grocery Store Joe, and it was, we know two things about Becca. And one is that she's blind.
yes,
because she sent home Joe.
It was so hard for us as audience members to understand, but I guess if you were there, he was really awkward.
When you hear Joe talk about it in this episode, he shed some light on why he truly just had to go.
Yes.
There was no
other
option. It doesn't matter what you look like. If you're that weird, chicks won't dig you.
Yeah, I guess so. You were at the Comedy Store this week.
I was at the Comedy Store. Did a little bit of stand-up. No, not really.
Yeah, you did.
I mean... No.
That's so cool. That's like a bucket list thing.
Yeah, it was. It was a really neat experience. I think it's going to come out hopefully in January. David Spade has a great new show called Lights Out, and he's doing this kind of secret stand-up, if you will. And he feeds you jokes, and in your ear, and you kind of just repeat whatever he says, not knowing what the jokes will be. So
he's a big Bachelor fan.
He is, and Courtney Cox turns out she's a big Bachelor fan.
Oh,
I got to meet Courtney because she was also feeding me jokes, and when she was very nice and gracious. And
that sounds so scary.
When I got to meet her, she's like, "Oh my God, I feel like I know you," and I'm like, "Oh my God, same." And I immediately almost said pivot, but I was like, "I'll just keep it."
Good job.
I'll act like.
Good job.
I'll act like I just doesn't totally blow my mind.
That's a good call.
She was very nice, and as I'm waiting, about to go on stage, in preparation for going on doing some stand up, I was YouTubing some of my favorite comedy acts. I don't know why, because I was just being fed jokes. Yes. And I was just, but I was just trying to get in the element.
Yeah, you got to.
So one of my favorites, Bill Burr. I'm a favorite. I'm a big fan of Bill, and he was performing that night at the Comedy Store.
Later that night?
I mean, the Comedy Store has all these
rooms.
It has all these rooms. And so he's just floating around backstage. I'm like, oh my God, that's Bill Burr. And I'm like, ugh. And then he walks in and looks right at me, and he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" Puts his hand out to shake my hand. And I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like a big fan, And like, he was chill and cool. And he just kind of kept walking, he didn't like stick around to have a conversation. I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, does Bill Burr know who I am? And I'm like, I feel like he maybe does based off of this interaction.
Yeah, I bet he does.
Jared came in because Jared and Ashley came to support in this little stand-up bit. And Jared's also a big Bill Burr fan. And I'm like, Jared, it's Bill Burr. He came up to me and he's like, he said hi and shook my hand as if we're like best friends. And he's like, there's no way Bill watches that show. And I'm thinking to myself, I was kind of playing back that moment in my mind, and I realized I'm pretty sure Bill Burr doesn't know who I am. And I think what happened was I probably got a little starstruck. And I'm pretty sure I was just fucking Bill, where I was just in a glazed daze, which didn't feel like a long time, but it was probably like 2 or 3 hard seconds from just staring at him. And my guess is Bill just deflected, having been in a situation like this where he's like, I'm just going to say hi to this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like make this awkward situation not awkward by just shaking. You know, he's backstage. He's he's allowed to be back here.
Yeah.
It's probably a safe space. So I'm pretty sure Bill doesn't know who I am. And I'm pretty sure I was just eye fucking him. And he just decided to be chill and cool. But anyways, it was
I don't know. He has a wife. I feel like he definitely knows who you are.
I don't know. I hope so, because the alternative is I made him feel really awkward.
Oh no!
And he's just like, all right, just shake this guy's hand and
get out of here.
And hopefully he doesn't murder you.
Oh no!
But it was a lot of fun in preparation for the big night.
Yes.
I had my athletic greens, which I gotta say, I'm an addict.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Do they want me to say that? I use it every morning. If you do something on a regular basis, can you be addicted to it in a positive way?
More that you've made it a part of your routine.
I have made it a part of my routine.
We have the bin right there.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you want to grab it?
It's great. I personally, well, it's here. I don't. You can put your powder in here, and it's quite nice.
Really sweet.
Yeah, like it smells good. It's full of vitamins and greens, and you get your basically a morning nutrition and greens right away, first thing in the morning. I like it. Actually, a lot of people would probably guess that maybe it doesn't taste that great.
Right.
Not true.
You really like the taste. You told me. Yeah.
I enjoy it. And the point where I don't like try to drink it and get it over with.
Yeah.
It's like an enjoyable glass of vitamins and minerals.
Same with me. And this is an incredible product because it has 75 proven vitamins, minerals, and whole food source ingredients. So there's actually whole fruit and vegetables in there that they freeze dried. No heat is involved at all, which helps it keep the maximum number of nutrients.
I didn't even know that, but it includes prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes.
And he said that's the most thing that people are most excited about is the prebiotics and probiotics.
Yeah, those are harder to get, especially in that kind of form.
And you're taking it all in the morning, so you get it all over with.
Gut health, which my sister Maria is really big on. Hormonal. I don't know. It helps support your hormones.
But it was just funny. Nick came in the office after we got this.
And healthy aging.
Oh, Nick was like, I love athletic greens.
I do. I really do love it.
Yeah.
So whether you are taking steps towards a healthier lifestyle or you're an athlete pushing for better performance, Athletic Greens takes the guesswork out of everyday good health. Why not just try it? Jump over to athleticgreens.com/VIALL and claim my special offer today. 20 free travel packs valued at $79 with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/VIALL. Noom. Well, it's the holidays. Yikes. And I'll tell you what, nutrition sometimes gets a little difficult during the holidays. It's like a cheat time of year, if you will.
We got a lot of excuses.
Got a lot of built-in excuses. And you know what? That is okay. But Noom's there to remind you how to get back on the healthy track. And even if you do want to cheat, it will help you guide you with like, all right, if you're going to eat this, maybe save here.
Yes.
Do that, then do this.
Yeah.
Shavings make a pile.
Yeah.
You know?
And even just like keep track of it so you don't get too carried away.
Yeah. Like, sometimes Noom will be there to be like, all right, we're glad you're having fun. But, chill.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's an app. It's really easy. You download it to your phone. I have it downloaded to my phone. And they suggest you spend about 10 minutes a day. That's as long as it takes me to just track your foods, read articles, help your cognitive approach to eating, and just become a healthier person who feels better in their skin.
You don't have to change it all in one day. Small steps make big progress, or shavings make a pile. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, NOOM.com/VIALL. That is NOOM.com/VIALL.
Well, we heard the news that Chris Bukowski and Katie broke up. What do you think about that?
They tried.
Really?
What do you mean? I mean, she came out without a ring. I mean, no one's mind's blown here. I wish them the best. I'm sure it's not great for them at this difficult period. And I always kind of say in these situations, for everything I know about it, it was a very real relationship. So I'm sure they're going through real heartbreak right now. I don't know much. I think it's more or less mutual. Doesn't mean it's not mutually hard for both of them.
Yeah.
And
it was hard they weren't living in the same place.
yeah, I mean, it's like it's tough because you meet in this kind of crazy world and you fast forward a relationship and then you get out of that world and you have to decide, well, how much should we fast forward the rest of it? Okay, fine, we got engaged on the show. Okay, we still have to get to know each other. A lot of these people don't live in the same cities. Does that mean we moved? And if we do move, do I move to a whole city and get my own place? Sometimes it's challenging, and I have no idea why they didn't work out. But
yeah,
I wish them the absolute best.
Yeah.
You know who's still together though? Joe and Kendall.
Yep.
And maybe there's something to be said about not getting engaged on Paradise and slow playing it, less expectations. But Joe is I had a fun time with Joe. Kind of an unconventional interview.
Yeah.
I don't know. We were just kind of hanging out, shooting the shit. Got to know Joe a little bit better. I really enjoy Joe. He's one of the people. I mean, I didn't know him on the show. I didn't really get to start knowing him until after the show. And, we don't know each other a ton, but every time I talk to Joe and get to know him, I always like him more and more. He's just a normal, good dude.
Yeah. His Wall Street stories are insane.
Yeah. And there's a lot to Joe that you didn't really get to know about Joe on the show. And he's one of those people who, which I appreciate. He refuses to be different. Having result in the show doesn't mean he's not doing different things. It doesn't mean he hasn't changed as a person, but his core in terms of like who he is, he still has perspective. He can kind of call bullshit on himself and in the world, and he doesn't feed into his own hype, which I think is important. So I've really got to enjoy Joe. So without further ado, Grocery Store Joe up next. Joe, welcome.
Thank you for I don't even know how to talk.
Have you done? Joe, can we say you're a little hungover?
And it must. Yeah, I'm hungover. I'm definitely getting older because I did not drink that much last night. I have a friend in town. I had 3 mezcal and sodas, 2 beers, and then a Fernet.
Oh, you told us earlier 3 drinks. Story's changing.
And I'm 5.
It might have been.
Are you still drunk or just bad at math?
Both. I think a little bit of both. But I feel good. I'm gonna power through this.
Oh,
I feel good. The ibuprofen's really,
You said you threw up.
I threw up
this morning
3 times.
No.
This morning.
Yeah. And
are you a throw upper? So I find there's 2 different types of people. There's the blackout people, and then there's the throw up people. I am the throw up person.
I'm a throw up person.
I'm a throw up person.
I am.
What a gang.
I was gonna tell myself I told myself to wake up and just run and sweat it out, and I put on workout clothes and went right to the bathroom and started throwing. And that was it. And then I
can't believe you made it here.
But I'm here, and I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna be able to make too much eye contact. I'm gonna be looking straight ahead the whole time.
So you don't get nauseated?
Yeah, so I swear that's what I'm doing.
I get it because I don't drink that much, but when I've gotten really drunk, and this has been a long time, I get the spins.
Oh.
And that's when I would throw up. Yeah. Like I've never blacked out. I've never not remembered.
Are you making him more nauseous?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
No, I'm fine.
I've never, I've always had a vivid memory, even the times I was the most drunk. Are you the same way?
Say that again.
We're gonna get through this, Joe. Do you not black out and not lose your memory at all? Like I've been really drunk and I've not in any way lost my memory.
I do not lose my memory. I remember everything that happens. So
good.
Yeah, it's fine. Like this doesn't happen to me. That's why
you're thrown off.
Yeah, honestly, it's the age thing. I mean, I'm getting older. I can't do what I used to do. But I don't even drink that much either, and that might be.
That's also definitely why.
Yeah, and it's because it's ever since I moved to LA, and a lot of it I think is being in a relationship too. Because when you're single, you're out all the time and you're drinking and you do shots, and I just don't live that life anymore. So
Now that you're a married man, or
yeah, pretty much. I'm not married yet. I'm not married.
drastically, I don't live that life anymore. As if you was doing some. What were you doing before you met Kendall?
I'm a retired vet.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like you go out, like you're used to going out at night, and now I'm used to like we go to bed at 10:30 and we watch Friends before we go to bed, and it's different. It's nice. Actually. It's nice.
It sounds like you guys have a bit of a routine.
We do.
Are you a routine guy, or is Kendall a routine gal and you are following her routine, or did you guys collectively decide as a couple you built a routine?
I think as a couple we built a routine, and I like to watch like a feel good show before I go to bed.
Really?
Yeah. I like
that.
Like the other night we watched Home Alone because I love Home Alone. It's
great.
It's a feel good movie. It puts me in the Christmas mood. So yeah, we did. We did that.
Have you always been this way in terms of like, that's a smart idea. Like, why you I have watched like a suspense thriller before I go to bed, or a movie that, just makes me think, and I won't sleep.
So here's a fact about me. I am a little weird. We're
going to get to that, but that's why.
No, really?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But like, so I will watch like the same 4 movies over and over again. So like
It's not that weird.
Well, like for like 6 months straight, I would watch like Midnight in Paris before I would go to bed.
Oh, so you're like a 6-year-old.
I have friends who do that though.
But like when you were a kid and then like a new Disney movie comes out and you would watch it 160 times. I don't think they're listening to this podcast, but there are kids out there right now that can relate to they're like frozen all the time.
Well, that's
24/7.
That's was Home Alone for me. Like that's what I did. I watched Home Alone like for a couple of years straight.
But as an adult, you are now doing this.
Yeah. So my my go-to movies are Ocean's 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, 12 of all. That's the worst one.
It's my favorite.
What?
I love Ocean because
because you like to travel and food.
I like to travel. I like the way it's shot. I like and those guys are very cool. Like I really
Sure.
like I idolize.
But they're cool in all 3 of those movies. Why?
Something about like being in Amsterdam and the way it feels. It just
Okay, Ocean's 12.
Yeah.
What? And then Midnight in
I feel
Paris.
like these are defining of your personality.
No,
That's
yeah.
fun.
Midnight in Paris. Paris. I can't. I definitely am.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
These are good movie choices.
Yeah. What's my other? What were my other go-tos?
Home Alone.
Home Alone. I like the movie Manhattan.
I'm not familiar with
Woody Allen. I'm a big Woody Allen guy. I like. Well, I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Edit that out. I don't know what Woody Allen has been doing these days.
I mean, he's always been on the radar for not. He was ahead of the Me Too before Me Too was. Everyone, that was the thing. Everyone knew.
Was like, oh,
Yeah.
Everyone knew, but weirdly, this went along with it. No,
We actually started watching. I only watched the first episode, but we started watching the R. Kelly thing.
that's not a good thing to watch before bed.
watch that before bed.
No, I don't watch that. That's like
the opposite.
That's like a 6 p.m. time. But have you seen that?
I actually haven't, because it's just like
Can't watch it.
I got the gist of it. I even started watching the Michael Jackson one, and it was like, all right, I get it. I'm done.
The Michael Jackson one I watched, that one was pretty bad.
That was hard to watch.
Those are rough.
Let's back to the more positive light. How did you?
We're bouncing all over the place.
So you like very positive. So you vote. You're a routine guy. Even before you met Kendall, I'm getting the impression that there are certain things Joe likes, and the little bit I know about you, and this is what I like about you, because I'm somewhat the same way. You really know what you like, and you also know what you dislike.
Yes,
and you have a strong opinion about both.
Yes, that's said perfectly. I like things, and then I don't. I don't like things. I like clothes.
All of them.
All the
Are there
clothes.
certain I like to be dressed?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean I like shopping. I do like that. I like fall. I like Christmas time.
You're a basic bitch, basically.
No, I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
sorry.
I like New York City. I
New
like
York.
pizza. I like lox and a bagel. I like Woody Allen movies. Seinfeld's my favorite
There
show.
you go. Joe and I are pretty similar.
That's things everybody likes.
That's true.
Yes, but I'm very passionate about those things. I live my
I like
life.
them more than everybody else.
I surround myself with those things on a daily basis.
That's cute.
You know?
So you like your comfort things.
Yes. Yeah, I like to be comforted. I like coffee. I love coffee.
Same.
I mean-
Joe, we could really hang out.
Yeah.
I thought Joe. I mean, I've been thinking about having Joe on for a while, but Joe and I were recently on Ellen together, and we did that game show. And the game
That was fun, right?
and the game show was basically spilled tea that you haven't had before, which I thought was hard to do because I was like, what do I
Talk
say?
about yourself on a podcast.
Well, the
all
podcast or
time.
the show or whatever. Joe's was the most interesting.
The jingle?
Joe, because mine was like, oh, what do I do? I don't do anything that interesting now. And mine was I've had sex while driving once. And this is something I did when I was 20 or something. And then me and my girlfriend at the time were like, this would be fun to try. It was a very,
Yeah.
not smart. Don't do it. Don't recommend it. But it's what you do when you're like early in your kind of you're having sex for.
You're talking like a blowjob, right? Not like
No,
sex.
we had sex.
Oh no, that's a terrible idea.
Terrible. It was not even that fun, but I can say I did it, Anyways, Joe thought of something that was like current, recent. He's actively doing,
Yes.
which I also like that Joe's like, I don't care, fuck it. I'm just going to say it. But you have a jingle
After sex.
that you actively sing it.
Well, yeah, and well, here's
It's just bizarre beyond belief.
well, we had to give 3 facts that were for daytime television, but about sex. So that was very.
They asked
difficult.
for something sexy. Yes.
Yeah, that was difficult, and all I said was like after sex. Sometimes I'll be like, I just had sex, and it was awesome, and I'll say it like kind of like joking around, like, and Kendall laughs, and we just laugh, and it's just like a joke. I'm not like I'm not like sex, like like I'm just messing around.
I get what you're saying. How long
and-
have you been doing that?
That's been going on for probably 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks.
I
Yeah.
love what Joe's so earnest about it. It's like, Any rewrites to the song? Has it always been the same song?
Yeah, it's just simple. I just had sex and it was awesome. And I say it in kind of a funny voice. And I say it a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times. Kendall laughs. I laugh. She kind of repeats it too. And
You guys are singing this together?
and then we go on with, showering, taking a shower after sex and getting dressed and doing what we got to do.
So the sex is still good.
Sex is great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
It sounds like morning sex during the day because you shower and then go about your day.
Well,
This is-
afternoon sex. Here's the thing.
Afternoon delight.
Yeah.
You have
I'm a big afternoon delight guy.
why?
Because I usually have the most energy.
Because he's getting older.
Geriatric sex.
It's like, really? After 8? I don't know, man. You get minimal effort. We have Home Alone.
You have to watch at least a half hour of Home Alone. And if I time this correctly, I won't be sleeping by 11, and that's a problem. No. But yeah, the song usually comes when we do have sex, either in the morning or the afternoon, because those are always fun times to have sex.
Yeah,
you know?
but most people are working.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, we just had sex. It was awesome,
Have you gotten laid a lot before you met Kendall? Or
well, yeah, I was fine. Like I was actually fine. Like, yeah, I was a normal. I was able to go out and meet women and usually do all right. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
Were you the king of Chicago? Would you say
Oh,
Are you asking before?
before Bachelor?
before I was, I wasn't the king of Chicago.
There's a butt coming.
More like the prince.
Oh,
No, that was lame. No, I mean, I was a single guy. I always did, I did pretty well financially. Like, not like, I was okay where I could afford to go out on the weekends. Yeah. And, I was single. So I went out.
Did shots.
Did some shots. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I was,
You're among friends, Joe. It's fine. You can.
Yeah, I just think, I was just doing that, But I was at a point where I was ready to be in a relationship, and I didn't. And I never really found that, and then the show happened, and now I'm in one.
Have you talked a lot about other podcasts? I don't want to bore the audience about your night one experience, because when we and I talked about it, I thought it was a fairly fascinating story about your whole mindset and how that all went down.
Yeah, I mean, I have talked about it, but I mean, I don't mind talking about it.
Well, I don't want to bore the audience. I heard this from producers. You like froze in front of the cameras.
Yeah,
you literally.
I froze.
I mean, people say that, but like it turns out they actually said words where you didn't.
Yeah, well, no, I did, but I wasn't making any sense. Like, I was talking and I was rambling. Like, I walked up to Becca and I said, like, I don't, like nothing I said made sense. And it went on for like a minute. And then I said, I forgot everything I was going to say. My name's Joe.
This is after you've talked for a minute.
And this is after I've talked for a minute. So now, and I see her like,
Is he okay?
Yeah, I see her like look over and she's like, yeah, like, is this guy for real? And now I know I'm not stupid. Like, I know when people are like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're a self-aware guy.
Yeah. And I walk in, I'm like, holy fuck, and they aired that.
well, that was after the limo.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I got the number. See, I think here, okay, I got pretty popular for being a night one guy.
Yeah, no one will ever replicate what you did.
And I would say that's because I would say I was probably somebody that would have gone decently far on that show if I did not freak out night one.
I will say this is going to be embarrassing, but I was someone watching it. I was like, oh my God, this is like the dream guy. And friends with the producers, I texted him. I was like, how did he not make it past night one? And he was like, I don't know. But I wasn't alone. I looked on Twitter. Everyone else felt the same way.
People really went nuts for that. But you
look at that hair. I don't know what I was doing with that haircut. Oh, that was brutal.
But it is wild to think because everyone gets nervous, but Joe was so bad that they weren't like, well, like we'll just keep him. We'll like let him settle in. They really thought he really can't function as a human. You must have been truly terrible.
It was horrible. And you want to know what? And then for Paradise, there was actually somebody that backed out last minute. That's why I was there.
No.
I was
Okay.
surprised to hear that because I thought you were a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was, but I don't think I was a shoo-in to be original cast.
And I think, and to that point is, and I didn't hear that until after Joe, is that, again, not to beat a dead horse, you were so bad night one, and I've heard this from other producers, that they were just like, we can't bring him on because he can't talk.
Yeah.
And so it was like, how can we make TV if we can't bring him on just to sit there? And then you told me the story about one of the producers who's no longer on the show when they brought you down, kind of came in and gave you like a pep talk.
Yeah, he came into my room. He said, and I remember I really got along with this producer, and he came in the room. He goes, how you doing? I said, I'm good. He goes, are you going to be able to do this? I said, yeah. He goes, are you going to be able to do this?
Oh my gosh.
I said, I think so. And Paradise,
It's a lot different.
it's a lot different. And once, I was still even nervous that first day, but once you get past, like, it's so much more calm.
The cereal school. You know what? I love cereal. I do.
Me too. I used to eat it every morning growing up.
Now, and I stopped doing that for a period of my life because I was like, I don't know if I should keep eating the cereal. I don't know if it's that healthy for me.
Probably not.
Turns out I'm back on the cereal train.
Mm-hmm. Peanut butter, cinnamon bun,
Thank
fruity,
you.
cocoa.
Cereal school. Yeah.
It's keto approved snacks that remind you of those cereals you ate growing up.
Because it is actually, in fact, cereal that you just kind of carry around with you and eat out of a pack if you need that snack. I find it the most beneficial because of the protein that is in it.
Yeah. 16 grams per serving.
16
That's insane.
grams. That's the appropriate, like, so it's about as much as your body can absorb at any one point in time of the protein you need. Mm-hmm. Any more protein, I don't know if 16 is the max, maybe it's like 20 or something, but it's right there in terms of if you were, let's say if you're a guy who needs to get his gains.
And it's great for kids too.
Yeah, well, it's great for anyone because everyone needs protein, but it's healthy, it's low in calories, it's high in protein, it's tasty, it's convenient. Everyone's doing it. You should too. Well, guys, I mean, what more can we say about Cereal School that we haven't already said, which should make you want to go get it right now? I mean, obviously. The Cereal School is a healthy and delicious snack that fits perfectly with your nutritional needs. And my listeners get $5 off and free shipping when you go to thecerealschool.com. Remember, that's thecerealschool.com and use promo code VIALL. The Cereal School is so confident that they offer a risk-free satisfaction guarantee on all orders. The only way to get $5 off and free shipping is to go to thecerealschool.com and use promo code VIALL. That's TheCerealschool.com, code VIALL. The Cereal School. Enjoy cereal like a kid again. Jade Black. I mean, if you're looking for a last-minute Christmas gift, Jade Black. Everyone likes a pair of sunglasses.
Sunglasses, and they're really affordable, but they're the highest quality.
They're made of the same material that the most expensive sunglasses on the market are made of.
Italian cellulose acetate.
Yeah, brands like Gucci, Ray-Ban, YSL. And YSL I've never heard of, but apparently it's so
You
fancy.
haven't heard of it?
It's so fancy that I don't
know how to say it. Yves Saint Laurent. It's
exactly
something like that.
Exactly. It's made out of the same material as that.
It's also polarized and anti-reflective.
I have like 4 pair. I love them. They're stylish. I've tried to break them.
You tried to break them?
Yeah, well, like reasonably, you know, like they're durable.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're amazing. Again, if you're looking for a very stylish, affordable Christmas gift, Jade Black, look no further. Everyone loves a good pair of sunglasses, and they love knowing they didn't spend a small fortune on them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you lose your sunglasses.
I mean, every time. I've never kept a pair of
now
sunglasses.
You can get like 4 pair for the same price as your damn Gucci's.
Yep.
Well, what more can I say other than go to jadeblack.co and use code VIALL-10 to get yourself 10% off your purchase. That is jadeblack.co. 10% off with code VIALL-10. Happy holidays with your Jade Black.
That's JADEBLACK.co.
It is surprising because, like, I don't know you that well, but you are a guy who is not afraid to give an opinion. And you're not, like, the little bit I hang out with you, you definitely, like, even just going on Ellen and telling your sex jingle story, 90% of Bachelor Nation cast wouldn't ever admit to that because they're so conscientious of the perception of them. And you are, that's not why you got weird, which is so kind of bizarre to think that you froze so much because, and that's where I relate to you that way. You're just kind of like, fuck it. I'll just say it. I'll just say what's on my mind, which is great for reality TV. And yet you struggled so much at first.
Well, I'll tell you what has changed is because even Paradise, I'm sure there could have been a lot more of me, but I was really nervous in front of the camera.
What is it about the cameras?
It was the fact that I've never done it. So it just took me a while to. It's like anything I've ever done, like any job. If I was to work at 7-Eleven, it would take me a couple months to be comfortable. And now I'm comfortable because I've done Dancing with the Stars, which was you've done it, but that's, a out of body fish out of water experience. And then I did the tour where I actually like hosted in front of thousands of people. So after doing all that, now I'm comfortable. Now I could sit in front of a camera and
Season
not care.
pro.
So yeah, now I'm professional.
But a lot of people that go on The Bachelor, they're like either influencers or some of them used to act, or you know what I mean? He's like a true.
I think you see that more and more. And I don't think most of them used to act. Do you think so? I don't know.
Peter has an IMDb page.
Peter,
The new Bachelor.
he's from LA. And actually, that's the new generation, maybe a little bit more now. But I feel like most of the people they cast are like from the Midwest and regular folk. And even Joe's out living in LA now. It's not like Joe's not. I wouldn't call him an influencer, but he's doing his own thing. It's not as if. So I think I think Joe's just more. Like we're talking about Joe. He's sitting right next to us.
I like it.
I find you unique in that sense and refreshing because you're just kind of like, whatever. I'm just gonna be who I am.
Yeah, I think I definitely notice that a lot of people in our world are scared, or not scared, but are worried about what they say so much. Like I can't, like I'm so worried about, because we have like, the ABC audience.
Why do you think that you're not like that? Like what is it in your mentality that, have you always been that way where it's just because, in fairness, people outside of TV, the world, we're all in society always trying to be polite or always trying to not offend people.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you've always had this type of personality even before the show where just got to throw it out there what I'm thinking.
I've always been like this, and it's really because I know what makes me happy, and it doesn't make me happy to fake things or to lie. So for me, I'm like, if I smoke weed before I go to bed once in a while, I'm not going to be like, oh no, I've never tried marijuana. Like I'm not going to do that. Like, yeah, once in a while before I go to bed, I'll smoke weed. And it's not that big of a deal. And I wake up and I feel great. I just had sex. It was awesome. But like, and I think, I'm just like, it is what it is. And if people don't like that, I'm not going to change the person I am. So because it makes somebody else happy. Like,
I couldn't agree more, but I find that very refreshing. Before you fell in love with Kendall, kind of going back to your dating life, I mean, what we talk a lot about dating on this show. When you said you were ready to settle down, were you actively trying not to have a girlfriend? Were you kind of just out there and seeing where it goes? Have you had serious girlfriends before Kendall?
Kendall's my first serious girlfriend.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, in the sense that like, was it active? Like that. You're 30
when I was young. So I was a trader at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange when I was from the age of 19 to 24. And
selling like pork bellies.
I was trading in the NASDAQ pit. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How'd you get away from that?
Because I ended up losing my money basically, and the business dried up, and I was 24 and I felt like I was going on 50 and I was miserable.
Wow.
But at that time, I was like, I'm too, because I worked with a lot of older guys and a lot of guys that had money, and they're like, oh, you're young, be single. And that kind of just was like, yeah,
Drained into you?
Yes. And then once I quit that and I started doing the produce, I was waking up at 1:30, 2 in the morning and working 10 hours a day, and I wasn't making nearly the money I was making before. So I was really it was kind of hard to get back out there.
Were you self-conscious about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you end up in the grocery store business?
My family's been in it my whole life. So my dad had like a produce route, and he delivers produce to restaurants. And then I had an uncle that had a house in the market, and they sell to like all big grocery stores. But so what are we talking about now? Your
dating life.
Oh. You felt like you were making less money.
Oh yeah. That I think that got in my head. And then the truth is, I think it's very hard to meet someone at a bar or a nightclub and have become boyfriend, girlfriend. Because usually what happens...
Well, not in that moment.
Well, no, but it just always felt like it was like a hookup thing. And it just... For me, I'm not the kind of person that was able to walk up to women at a grocery store or a coffee shop and say hi. I couldn't do that. I was too shy.
I struggle with it.
Like that's...
Yeah, you could get slapped in the face. It's kind of scary.
So...
I mean, I've always felt confident with women. I've always felt confident talking to them. But when it comes to that cold open, so to speak, walking up to someone and saying hi, I've done it before, but I wish I just did it more often, because I do know that even if they have a boyfriend or if they say no, it's just like, there are probably more times that I would probably get a reaction I was hoping for. I just chicken out all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know why, but you just get so nervous.
Yeah. And you're just like in your head, and you're not going to sound smooth, and it's going to be rough, and it's just like, so I didn't do that.
But when you would meet women at bars, how were you meeting them?
Well, I was drinking.
Then you got,
and once you have a few drinks, and everybody at the bar is drinking, and everybody's there to talk. So it's like one of those situations where it's like, it's just known, like, okay, we're going to talk. I'm going to talk. You're going to talk. And then,
wouldn't you so when you say, I mean, I agree, like, no one's going to go to a bar and fall in love, but everyone's loose, everyone's drinking. It's certainly an easier way to break the ice with someone.
Yes. Yeah.
But would you go in there with the mindset of like, this is just a hookup place? What if you met a girl, enjoyed talking to her, and got her number, and then like when you're two sober people on a Wednesday, grab a drink?
Well, that's what I tried to do. It just, nothing ever clicked.
Would you ever bring a girl home?
Like the night of?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had one night stands before.
Yeah, and I'm not, no judgment, but like, what? And did you? And let me ask you this: did you feel like you met a girl, you wanted to bring her home, and then you guys hooked up? Did that immediately make you feel like she wasn't someone you wanted to date? Then? Oh,
because like I would be so like
for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, and the reason why is because I looked at it like, I'm not going to judge her for hooking up with me.
Not judgment. Night. I don't think you ever would judge them, but did you ever just like feel like I mean, why any of these women did you not want? Did you ever like, did you ever take a girl home, hook up with them,
and then go out with them,
and then be like, let's get together next week?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I dated. Like I had that where, I would date for a month or, a couple months. It never, I don't know. It just
never turned into it.
Yeah, never.
Well, why do you think a bar then wouldn't be like at least a great place to maybe meet someone? Because the grocery store, you get more nervous or whatever. I'm protecting the bar scene here.
Yeah, I think, I actually think you're right. So it didn't work for me. Well, I guess it did technically work for me too. So yeah, I guess I take back what I said.
Yeah. I mean, it's not ideal. Like, it's not the story you want to tell your grandkids, but it's an easier way to meet someone, and then not everyone's enough to lucky to go on Paradise and find their
that's true
their true love.
And most people in bars are single. So
you think so? Is that true? I guess a half.
I would say 75%.
That's true. Whenever you're in a relationship, you're like, why are we going out? It seems so. Yeah. Why are we competing with all these people?
Yeah.
And then you met Kendall.
Yes.
And she has changed your life for the better.
Yeah, she has.
When you left Paradise, were you pretty, did you think that you were going to be in this relationship now?
Nope.
No.
When I left Paradise, honestly, I thought I was going to be the next Bachelor. I thought it was a possibility.
That's what I was telling him before.
Because people had mentioned it, and I'm like, this is a possibility.
I want it.
I looked at it like I live in Chicago. I don't plan on moving to LA. Kendall lives in LA. We didn't have sex, not that, but you don't.
I get what you're saying.
Oh,
there was no jingle to sing. But you didn't hook up on the beach.
No. And I
Why
was,
not?
because she wasn't ready. And I was like, that's fine. Cause
She seemed very, at least on Paradise, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they show, but she wasn't ready to go into that room, which I understood. Like, there's cameras in there.
No, I'm saying she seemed reluctant about the relationship in general.
Oh, yeah.
In Paradise.
Yeah. I think it didn't really click for us till after. And I remember being home for a few days and thinking, I'm thinking about her right now. I think I might really, really be into her. Why destroy this? Why just not work on this? Let me see where it actually could go, because my whole life I haven't given relationships any chance. So let me actually see. And the more we started hanging out and getting to know each other, it was like, wow, I actually enjoy being with this person every day.
Did you connect with her, or who reached out to who first?
I DM'd her, and then she booked a ticket to Chicago, and then the producers came.
And you were like, "Hey, I'm still like, why are we not trying?"
I think we were both like, we don't know. So she came to Chicago like 3 weeks after, and when she came to Chicago, like, because I was difficult to talk to, like she was texting me and calling me, and I was more like not being very responsive, because I was just like, I didn't believe it was going to actually turn into something.
Are you a skeptic?
Yes. I didn't buy the whole Bachelor thing. I'm like, this will never work. I don't think this, like I get what's happening here. You go on this show. My attitude was, I go on this show. If I fall in love, great. Is it going to happen? Absolutely not. And then there's like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's,
I get that.
Yeah. But I did think that, I'm like, I wasn't stupid. I saw like what happens on Instagram and everything. So I was looking at it like, I probably won't meet anyone on this show, but I'll be able to meet so many more people after, I'll probably end up finding the girl that I'm going to fall in love with because of it.
I mean, I get that logic.
Hasn't really panned out for some people.
And then Kendall, and so I mean, and then now you're living in LA. You guys are living together. You seem like one big happy couple. Did
you like wait to see if you were going to be the Bachelor before you pursued Kendall, or was it?
No.
Oh
no. I once she came to Chicago, we hung out with no cameras. That's when I'm like, okay, let's see if this works. Let's actually try to date. And we were both on the same page.
Do you think if you weren't casted on Dancing with the Stars, where would you be living right now? Or would that have been
Great
hard?
question.
Because, right, you basically lived out here for 2 to 3 months via Dancing with the Stars, which made that transition so much easier. You got kind of assimilated and acclimated to LA, and you guys kind of got used to this routine. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it was almost like, well, I'll just stay.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So if it wasn't, I don't want to say we wouldn't be together, because we are really in love, and it's a very healthy and fun relationship. But if it wasn't being casted on Dancing with the Stars, I don't know if we would have ended up together, because being in LA for those 2.5 months was so crucial, because that was the point. That was like the beginning of our relationship. Like, I can't do a long distance, and she couldn't either. Like I want to be physical with the person I'm in a relationship with. So I can't do long distance. So that show was a big reason why I think it worked out.
It makes sense too, because like we get asked a lot of questions about like long distance relationships. I've talked about just in my life, and I don't know how you feel, but like every time I make some sort of drastic change, like there needs to be some sort of boost or launching pad that I need, you know, in terms of like when I moved to Chicago or moved to LA, like there was a jump start I had, right? Because if there is no Dancing with the Stars, you're living in Chicago, you have your comfortable life in your apartment and she's here, and you're thinking to yourself, for a girl that you don't really know that well, wait, am I going to just move I'm going to change my life drastically? And it's harder to do that because you feel like, well, would I do this for this one person? And what if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
And yeah, you got this kind of boost through dancing where, well, you're not moving for Kendall at first. You're coming out here for a period of time, and then you got to know this person, and it's kind of fascinating because it wasn't like you're saying, oh, I didn't have these strong feelings like you said, but like it's a crazy notion to sometimes want to do that in a relationship, and people struggle with that kind of idea of having to do that. On the same time, if you don't have something like Dancing with the Stars, I always find that things are easier than they seem sometimes. Would you agree in terms of like, was it that hard to move to LA?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
But it seems like such a mountain to climb when you are in your very comfortable life.
At the time, it would have been, without Dancing with the Stars, to just leave my friends, leave my family, leave my condo, leave my job, for one person to just, yeah, exactly like you said, just move to LA was like absolutely
the
not.
idea seems impossible.
Absolutely not. Like I'm not going to move to LA and try to become an actor. Like, so what the hell am I going to do?
That's the harder part, because I mean, obviously dancing helps that. You know, it's financially lucrative, it's fun, and then that was a bit of a platform. But like, even more than that, I think just being out here it's kind of fascinating when you like thinking about long distance and couples who are in long distance relationships who their needs, you do eventually have to be in the same city.
Oh yeah, you can't. It just doesn't work. I mean, unless it does, but I don't know anyone that could just do long distance for years.
No, not forever, but you usually need that kind of boost or that reason to go. And sometimes you need to feel like you're not doing it just for that person. Right? Because then you feel like almost that like resentment or whatever, like you're doing it, you almost feel like, why am I doing all of this for you?
Yeah, and you're not doing it for me.
Yeah, it can get heavy-handed in that regard.
100%. Like exactly. Like I didn't move to LA for Kendall. I moved to LA because I got cast in on a television show. And the fact that Kendall was here was a plus, and because of that, we were able to explore our relationship, and it ended up really working out.
Go ahead, Rochelle.
She just seemed so supportive of you during Dancing with the Stars too.
Oh, she was great. She went to every show. Like she did not miss a show. She helped me practice. Like she was literally there for me the entire time. She never got jealous or anything like that. Like she was great.
Kendall's a very easygoing gal. Yeah,
she is.
I don't know her that well, but doesn't strike me at all as a jealous person, and just always very lighthearted and a very easy to be around person.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, well said.
Yeah, that's the vibe I've always gone for. So what's next for you guys? Or, you know, I mean, what are you doing out here? What are you guys looking forward to? I know you guys are having a Friendsgiving tomorrow.
We are having a Friendsgiving tomorrow. You're invited. What are we doing out here now? That's a good question, because once you agree to do all these shows, you basically have to quit your job, and your life does kind of get flipped upside down. So now I am living in LA trying to make a living off of, entertainment world, I guess.
Sure.
I'm going more along the lines of like doing food stuff, and I was lucky enough to get paid by Southwest to just do something with them.
I saw that.
Yeah.
What'd you do with them?
I did a little food tour in California. We did something with BuzzFeed recently, which was pretty cool. BuzzFeed and Kroger. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. And Kendall has her podcast.
When did Kendall start a podcast?
Yeah.
It's called Down to Date.
Nice.
She helps people, right?
Yeah. She like facilitates a first date.
Like a planner?
It's a fun idea.
Like not a planner, like a
mediator.
Like a professional.
People meet on our podcast?
Yeah. It's a first, yeah. It's a blind date
How
too.
long has this been going on?
She's about 12 episodes in.
Well, let's get Rochelle on.
You want to go on?
I do.
She'll definitely have you on.
Okay.
100%.
That who's she doing it with?
Herself. With
It's just her.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So that's
And she's not doing the. She was the taxidermy. She was in Where is that? Was that more of the show?
Okay,
Was
so
she actually?
My friend used to work with her because she did like set design stuff,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
she collects taxidermy. She probably has about 8 to 10 pieces, but it's not like she's
At your place.
Yeah, but it's not like
You just have like, what do you got? I haven't been to your place. Do you have a lot of creatures?
yeah, they're around, but they don't bother me. But it's not like she has like
So Joe's so earnest. I love it. He's so matter of fact.
I love it.
it's not like she has like an operating room in our back room where she's stuffing these dead animals. Like she doesn't do the actual taxidermy.
Does she name them? Do they have names?
We have
I feel like they have names.
We have a badger named Beaver because I bought it for her and we were at like this taxidermy shop and I'm like, she's, geeking out with the taxidermy guy and they're going on and on. I'm like, just listen, like how much for the beaver? And they both look and they're like, it's a badger. I'm like, whatever.
How much was the beaver?
It was $400, but I got them down to $375. No, these aren't cheap. Like there's there's taxidermy that's like $18,000. Like we went to a famous taxidermy.
To have a dead animal stuffed in your place.
Yeah, we went to a famous one in Paris. I forget the name of it, but they have like anything you could think of, any animal. And
How did Kendall get into this?
She's just really into like zoology and botany, and Kendall's fascinating. She's always reading a different book. She will read a book about trees, and she actually did just read a book about trees and she loved it, but she'll do that. Like
Meanwhile, you're watching Home Alone for the 200th time. Like, the doorknob's hot. Don't do it.
Oh, that's funny.
Woof.
So yeah, she loves to learn. So
and you love to just keep it.
Well, I read books. I'm reading Omnivore's Dilemma right now. It's a good book.
Ooh, what's that about?
Michael Pollan. It's just about like what goes into all this food that we eat and how
You're
it's
a big
all
foodie.
Yeah, and how it's all processed and like how a lot of these like organic companies now, it's really just the same thing. And like if you actually look and see what's on these packages, like his rule is if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't put it in your body. And the other thing is like you could eat.
But you were talking about, yes, like chemical type stuff.
Yeah. And he's like, you could eat all the ice cream you want. Make it yourself. And then you'll see how much you actually eat. And you'll make the simplest meal you can make. You won't eat ice cream.
What do you cook?
I'm starting to, yeah.
Because of this book?
No, because Kendall doesn't like to eat out all the time, and I agree with that because it's a bad habit. And I'm really into food, and I enjoy cooking. So yeah.
Joe, we're gonna play a little game to wrap things up.
All right, let's do it.
It's called Do You Know Me? I'm more interested in this round of Do You Know Me than most.
Why?
I can't tell if he's easy to figure out or hard to figure out.
Hard.
Joe?
Yeah. He worked on the trading floor. I think that's crazy. Where did you go to college?
I didn't go to college.
Oh, what? That's insane.
Yeah.
You didn't go to college?
How did you end up there?
My cousins were all successful traders, so
Yeah, I knew a couple guys in Chicago. It's kind of like if you're in the scene, you can get in.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like the mafia?
Yeah, I mean, it's very.
You started when young? You said 15.
I was 19. Well, I started going down there when I was 15 for like the summers. And then I got my badge when I was 19. So I clerked for a year and I started trading.
Your parents weren't like, you got to go to college?
No, because none of my cousins did. And they were like very successful. Like it was.
It's almost like the opposite. Yeah. It's like you don't need to do this.
Yeah. Like why would you and it was crazy because I was, I had friends that went to the University of Illinois and I would go down there and like shots would be like 50 cents and I made like $6,000 that day. And I was like, man,
I could kill myself.
like this is crazy.
Whoa.
You were making $6,000 a day as a 21-year-old?
So my issue was I can never handle a loss. So I would build up my account and then blow it in a day. So I had multiple days where I lost like 30,000, but I had October 2008. So I was either 21 or 22. I don't remember. October 2008, for 3 weeks straight, I made over 50,000 a week. So I made and that was like how I got a lump of my money. I made like 55,000, 53,000, like 52,000.
This is Wolf of Wall Street.
And then like the next week I made like 35,000 and then another 30 grand the next week. And then one afternoon, a minute left to go in the day, I lost 60 grand. And then I went into work and dropped 30. And the next day I dropped another 30. So I lost 120,000 in 3 trading days. Like an idiot. I was so like,
When you look back, because I don't know exactly how that works, were you doing dumb stuff or was it just kind of the bad luck of the volatility of the market?
I was doing dumb stuff. So I would.
It was almost like being at a blackjack table where you're
kind of like here's the issue. Here was my problem. Like I couldn't at the time I would be, because we were really busy, I could be down $7,000, which I was like so upset with myself for doing that. But I should have been fine because the past 3 days I just made 30 grand. So deal with the fact that you're down 7. I couldn't deal with that. So I would just keep going and just keep taking chances and chances.
It's like making bad bets at a blackjack table where you lose a little bit of money and you make a bad bet after a bad bet. You chase.
Yeah, it's honestly it's like a disease. Like you chasing gambling is like a legit disease.
I don't gamble much, but the little bit I do, I feel like I'm glad I don't.
Yeah,
I'm glad I don't get into it because yes,
it's a bad vice.
It's not great. You're an interesting man, Joe, and I feel like we're going to learn more. This is how it works, Joe. It's called Do You Know Me?
Okay.
I'm going to read a question. I'm going to insert your name. Rochelle and I are going to guess the answer. So don't answer it right away.
Okay.
We'll say, Joe, who's right? And you'll let us know. And then if you have an anecdotal story to elaborate on your answer, please share.
Okay.
You may or may not.
Okay.
Do you know me? With grocery store Joe. Question number 1. Has Joe ever eaten bear meat? Has Joe ever eaten bear meat? I know. I was at dinner with 2 people who ate bear meat.
At where were you eating?
I was in Finland.
Oh, in Finland. I think he hasn't.
I think he hasn't. I think he would if it was on the menu. He just is not. I think if Joe was at the dinner that I was at in Finland, he would have tried it with the other 2 gentlemen.
Yeah.
I was just like, nah, I'll just have.
I don't think he's traveled to a bear eating.
I think Joe would be down for a bite of bear.
I'm going to change. I think he has. Someone's hunted it and then he ate it.
I'm going to still say no, but
Okay.
I think he would.
What's the answer?
Okay. Nick is right.
Ah.
I haven't, and you are also right. I would definitely try it.
Darn it.
I'm always down to experience new meats.
Someone hooked Joe up with a bear.
And there's deer, shark, and alligator. Have you ever tried any of those? I mean, I've eaten venison.
Yeah, so have I.
Shark and alligator?
Shark, I feel like, could I have had shark? No, I wouldn't know it. No, I don't think so. But I did just eat, in Japan, I just ate pig heart.
How was that?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You know, it's really gross. And I mean, a lot of people eat it, but I really don't like. You ever have gizzard?
No.
Ugh,
I'm not good at trying new things
not that good.
with food wise.
Gizzard.
I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Is that part of a turkey?
It's like is it
Yeah, but it's like how.
the neck?
Yeah, it's like how the food gets like broken down.
Oh.
Doesn't sound great.
And it wasn't.
Question number 2. Has Joe ever had a bowl cut? Has Joe ever had a bowl cut?
No, because his hair's too curly. For a bowl cut?
You're selling your. How old are you?
33.
Me too. I had a bowl cut.
Joe has had a bowl cut. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh!
I had a bowl cut when I wore my Charlotte Hornets jersey of who was that? Larry
Joe's
Jones.
it's our generation.
Yes.
It was definitely and the curly hair didn't matter. You weren't going to be
doesn't matter?
You were not going to be discriminated because you had curly hair.
Absolutely
you
not.
guys, I can still do this.
Absolutely.
It won't flop like yours, straight-haired guy, but like I'm also they're going to come back.
You think?
I'm not proud of it.
There's
but
no way.
in about 5 years, they're going to be back.
The bowl cut? Yeah, I could see that.
It's going to happen.
Comes
Has
back.
Joe ever hooked up with someone 10 years older than him?
I mean, he's out there trading on the floor as a young 18-year-old. I feel like, yeah, there had to be some hot older woman at work.
I'm going to answer this the same way I would bear meat. No, he hasn't, but he definitely would if the opportunity presented itself.
I think I have.
You think you have?
If he's 18, a 28-year-old, that's very possible.
I would say, yeah, I have.
Hell yeah.
I would say right around that mark. It could have been like 8 or 9 years. So
We'll allow it.
that's, yeah.
Get it, Joe.
That's when the thing comes.
2-1 Nick. Rochelle getting back in the game.
Thank you.
Has Joe ever been arrested? And we're going to say handcuffed, not necessarily.
Handcuff.
He doesn't have to have been booked, so to speak,
Okay.
where he had there's no miss any mugshot. But has Joe been detained and handcuffed by police? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Same era. Yeah. It happens, you know.
When you're making $50,000 a week, drinking shots, and you're 21,
the rules don't apply to
there's
you.
no way you don't do something stupid.
Yeah.
What
Well,
was it?
Joe thinks he's above the law.
No.
What'd you do? Can
And
you share? Probably something dumb.
it wasn't like I was making. I only made that 50,000 a week for 3 weeks, but
Either way.
yeah, I'm still pretty crazy. It was crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Was it alcohol related?
Well, I think we got cuffed a few times just in high school, like hanging out at the park, drinking. Like
Oh.
that was a big thing in Chicago, like the Forest Preserve and the parks. So that, yeah,
Is there a mugshot of Joe?
I'm looking.
no, there's not.
Well, we'll see.
He spent some of that $50,000 to pay for it to be taken off the internet. Did Joe drink alcohol for the first time before the age of 15?
Well, I think we just established that. Yes.
Before age 15?
15. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, not his first sip of beer. Because
First time I got drunk.
Yes. First time you got drunk before
Yeah.
15.
I was a freshman.
That's close.
That's
It's right on the...
So a freshman's 14.
I'll allow
Okay.
it.
All right. All right.
Living.
3-2. Amanda. What'd you Google
That is
for
funny
that?
because it's
Joe Amabile mugshot.
First of all, she looks dangerously hot, and Amanda got more Instagram followers after that.
Really?
Yeah.
a picture of Al Capone and then Amanda
And a Stanton.
That's funny.
That's street cred right there.
Yep.
Has Joe ever cried after a test? Like after he found out he got an F?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I
Joe-
think so. I think he's such a sweet, sensitive soul.
Yeah, but I think Joe's more like, that we'll get it next time.
Yeah, no, never,
Wow.
never after a test. No,
Never.
Were you that? I don't think you're that into school.
no, I was very bad. I was a bad student. Like high school was not my strong suit. But I went to an all boy high school and everybody just misbehaved, and it was just like a thing.
Oh.
I feel like this is the way you describe your family. Like they didn't prioritize that as much.
No, I had the even like 7th and 8th grade. Like I had to work.
Oh, damn.
So I always worked.
4-2 Nick. Final question.
You always have to keep score. It's
there
nothing
any-
that we win or
Is there
anything.
any other way? pride.
Ugh.
Has Joe sung karaoke in the past 6 months? Yes. I don't like to sing karaoke when I go to, like, I went to a birthday party last week and it was a karaoke, and also doing karaoke in LA.
Ugh.
It's not the same as like
People are performing.
Yeah. It's like everyone's like
It's their open mic.
yes. And then they're like really good and like really into it. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not going to sing the person who could, why aren't you in a band?
Yeah.
But besides the point, I'm still going to say you have.
Well, he does sing a jingle after sex,
He does.
so he's musical. I don't think he needs the attention. He was on Dancing with the Stars. He's got that quota filled. He doesn't do it. He doesn't get up and do
I
it.
don't think Joe would karaoke for attention. I think he would just be a team player. I'm going to say yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question now.
Okay.
Does it count if it's on my friend's rooftop?
Yeah.
And
No.
okay,
Wait,
Is
it
it-
has to be at a karaoke bar? If you could do karaoke.
I'm just saying that because I don't want to lose this point.
well, I mean, I probably wouldn't sing karaoke at a bar because
Oh.
I would feel uncomfortable, and I just, like you said, like I don't like. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to do it. It's not gonna make me feel better about myself, so I don't
Yeah.
feel the need to do it. But I did sing karaoke on my friend's rooftop in Chicago probably about 6 months ago.
Oh, fun.
Oh.
That sounds lovely.
Rooftop in the summers
Chicago.
of Chicago.
There's nothing better than summer in Chicago.
It's a really good.
You still go back a lot?
treat.
We're going back Monday for a week for
Fun.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Joe, it is a pleasure talking to you. You are an enigma,
Thank
an
you.
interesting guy, but also you're
I love how you define
one of the
enigma
most.
for
But you're normal. You're normal, and like you're not afraid to be yourself and not afraid to be normal, and I think
Right.
that in a weird way makes you interesting and say more interesting than a lot of people.
Oh, thank you.
So I've quite enjoyed it. Rochelle, any final thoughts?
I'm an original stan, so
This was fun. This was enjoyable.
Rochelle, you okay?
no.
And I'm not even hungover anymore. So
You got that audio. We
Yeah.
talked it audio.
I beat it.
What do you think was the reason, like, just last question, Dancing with the Stars was so successful for you?
Like what do
You went so far.
Bachelor, I think we have a pretty big fan base on that show.
The guys kind of all leave the same week.
And
You guys left the same week?
Well, he was on more episodes, but we left the same.
Oh, I
like
didn't know
in
that.
terms of like the rankings, are pretty much about the same.
Yeah.
and I think I had a really big Chicago vote. Like
Oh, cool.
because I have a big family and a lot of friends in Chicago, and I feel like, and they were all like, my brother's a policeman, and he had the entire station like voting, like filling all their votes. So like, because I'm not like a person that votes. You know?
The grocery store Joe, like
The
just
show.
name, I really did you well.
Yeah,
Love it.
You know, just kind of like you had
Working class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what is it? Joe the plumber. Like what election was that? Where it was like this guy called Joe. It's such a.
Grocery Store Joe was one of the greatest nicknames that could have ever happened to me.
I'm a little bummed that when I Googled you yesterday in prep for this show, I had to Google grocery store J before you came up. Came up immediately after that, but I really wanted you to go grocery store, which is obviously a very common thing. I would have been very impressed if I would have typed a grocery store and you would have been like number 4.
That's
But
a goal.
I
That's a
had
goal
to
right
type
there.
J.
Yeah, that's a goal right there.
Nevertheless, still impressive, Joe. I've said this to Joe. No one will ever replicate his Bachelor experience, I don't think a lot of things about what I did on The Bachelor. I don't like wear with a badge of honor, but I know that people won't replicate what I did, and I think it's very cool that no one will ever have the same experience that you had on the show. No one. People will try to do it. There will be people who go home night 1, and some people will be like, "Oh, why did they go home night 1?" And they'll think they'll be able to do what you did, and no one will ever do it again.
Yeah.
That much I am sure of. It was such a unique run, and it was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, that's nice. It's nice to have that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, Joe, thanks for coming on again. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars if you so choose. Don't forget to check out viallfiles.com for some merch. And we'll see you next time.